Hello everyone, welcome to KSR Data Vision. Myself SI Babu. Today I am going to explore about how CSV files column headers having the space delimited into delta tables within a lakehouse by using the Dataflows. So as part of today agenda, first we will create a workspace and we will create a lakehouse. Then we will upload some CSV files. Then we will try to load that files into a table section as a delta table format. Then we will create a data flows. Then how we can push that queries in the data flows into a tables as a delta table format. So let's jump into the Power BI service. So if you see, this is my Power BI services UI. So first of all, if you want to create a workspace, just click on here workspaces, then click on new workspace. Once you click on new workspace, just give any generic name. So Fabric CSV demo. So here in the advanced, click on the advanced. So here you can make sure that you have to select trial option because Fabric features will be available in the trial license only. Okay, select this trial and click apply. So once if you click on the apply, it will create a new workspace. So this is my new workspace. Here nothing is there. First what I'll do, I'll create a lakehouse. For that you have to click on this new item. Once you click on the new item, so here we have a lot of options, a lot of activities we have to create. In that, just search lake house. If you type lake, then it will show as a lake house. Store big data for cleaning, querying, reporting and sharing. Just click on this lake house. So just rename it this as a CSV load underscore LH. LH means lake house. So give a proper name and click on create. Once you click on create, it will create a new lake house. So let's wait. So it's whatever the lake house we created, that lake house is now loading. So once the lake house is loaded, this is how lake house UI will look like. So from here, so if you want to upload any files from your local machine, just go to this files three dots, click on this three dots and go to upload option. If you want to upload a folder, you can upload directly folder. If you want to upload any single file, just click on the upload files. So in the files, just click on this folder symbol. Once you click on this folder symbol, here it will say, so let's say I want to load my orders table. Okay, so I'm selected the orders.csv and I'll click on the upload. So it is uploaded. So just if you want to see that CSV file, go to these three dots, just click on the refresh. Once if you refresh, click on this file, see, just now I uploaded this orders.csv. So if I click on, if you want to see this data, just click on this, but it will be shown in a normal plain CSV format. So here we have sales order ID, order date, customer ID, line item, product ID, order quantity, line item total. Okay, now I want to load this file into a table section. So for this, what you have to do, in this orders.csv file, in the ellipsis, just click on this ellipsis and there is a option called load tables. Just click on this load tables. If you click on the new table, so it is asking, so the table name is, just let's say I'll rename it as a orders underscore tb means table, and this I'll select the checkbox as a use headers for column names. So I'll click on the load. Once I click on the load, so it is loading to the tables section. So it is loading. Let's wait for a couple of minutes. So it's depend upon the your data size and your file size, it will take that time. So I think it's uploaded. See, once if it is uploaded, automatically here the orders table is populating. So if I click on the orders table, now we can see here loading preview. So once the preview is loaded, we can see the sample data. So here the data will be looks in a table format. So that is how in files, it could be any file, it could be CSV, it could be JSON, it could be Parquet file, but while come to the tables, it will be stored as a table format. So loading, let's wait. If you see sales order ID, order date, customer ID, line item, product ID, so like this you have. So this is simple. So now it is loaded. Now one more file is there. First, before loading that tab file, I'll show that file to you. There is one more file called sales orders. Okay, so sales orders, the same table, the same structure, same data, but here there is one difference. If you see this column headers, here sales order ID. So sales order ID means in between the sales and order ID there is a gap. Here also in between the order and date there is a gap. So whatever the column headers is there, it's a some space is there between the words. Line item and product ID also we have the space, and order quantity also we have the space. Line item total also we have the space. So now let's try to load this into the Fabric Lakehouse. So go to files, so click on upload, just click on upload files and click on the folder. So click on the sales order, click on open. So just click on upload. So it is uploaded. So now what I'll do, I'll click on this three dots and I'll click on refresh and I'll click on the files. If you see, my sales orders.csv file also loaded. If I click on this, see here it is clearly telling that there is a gap between the sales and order ID. Order in the order date, there is a gap between the order and date. So let's go to the files and repeat the same process. I'll click on these three dots and I'll click on load tables and I'll click this as a new table. So I'll click this as a new table and I'll give name as a sales order table. So just I'll click on the load. So if I click on the load, see here it is throwing error. A problem occurred when validating the file. Click on the details. Let's see why it is throwing error. Invalid column names, sales order ID, order date, customer ID and line item. So here Unicode word character include letters of any case and their non-spacing marks, functions connectors like the underscore. So what it is telling, if you are loading any column header names with the spaces, you have to make sure that there is no spaces between the column header. If you want to maintain a space, then you can use the underscore. So this will not allowed by the tables option. So what is the alternative? Now this is where your data flows comes into the picture. So here if you see, let's say here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 columns are there. Okay, we will think, okay, why can't we do it here manually? We can put the underscore or we can remove the space. Okay, here only 7 columns. In the real time it could be the 200 columns, 300 columns. At that time what you will do? We can't go with manually in the CSV files. So for this I'll show you one alternate approach with the data flows. So let's jump into the Power BI workspace. Just go to the your workspace. Here just click on the new item. So here search data flows. So here two types of there, data flow gen 1, data flow gen 2. So I'll choose data flow gen 2. So I'll rename it as a CSV data flow, CSV data flow. So I'll click on the create. So data flow gen 2 is creating. Now data flow is gen 2 is created and it's loading the UI. So this is the data flow gen 2 UI. So here what we will do, first I'll pull the data from my files section to data flows. For that what you have to do, just click on the get data from another resource. Just click on this get data from another resource. So if you click on this, here just click on this. Here we have lot of options. If you want to pull from Azure SQL database and Dataverse SharePoint list, here there are lot of options are there. Just click on this one lake. So if you click on the one lake, it will show what are the lake houses, what are the data flows presented in this Fabric workspace. So I created, if I remember, CSV load underscore lake house. I created this lake house. What I'll do, I'll select this CSV lake house, and if I select, immediately it is connecting to CSV load lakehouse. Let's wait until it connects to the CSV load lakehouse. It will take some time because we are currently using a trial version, but in to upgrade to F64, it won't take this much of time because currently in my real time I'm using 64 capacity in my projects. So it is connected. So if you see in the CSV load lakehouse, there is a option called files. In the files, if I click on the drop down, so it will show two files. Why two files? I loaded the two files, order CSV and sales order CSV. Now what I'll do, I'll select sales order CSV. If I select sales order CSV, it will open here. Then click on this create. Once if you click on create, it will navigate to another window. So here it is navigated to Power Query. So I would say Power Query means data flow gen 2. So it's loading. Let's wait. It will takes time because of the data size and number of rows in the data set. First what I will do, I'll properly rename this query sales orders underscore table. Okay, then here if you observe, whatever the column headers that is showing as a row values, if I want to move this as a column headers, go to transform. So if you go to transform, in the transform there is an option called use first row as a headers. So I'm telling you, whoever familiar with Power BI desktop, it will be a cakewalk for you because Dataflow is nothing but a online Power Query editor. Just click on this use first row as a header. If I click on the first row as a header, it will convert the rows values as a headers. Now if you see sales order ID, and order date, customer id and line item, everything is there. And before publishing it, just you can check the data type also. If there is any wrong data type, you can change it here also. Next, what I'll do, I'll loaded the my file into the data flows. Now I want to push this into the lake house as a delta table. For this, what you have to do, here there is a option called data destination. Here you can add your destination. For this, what I'll do, I'll click on this add data destination. Here you can select, you have a lot of options: lakehouse, warehouse, SQL database. But my requirement is I want to connect with lakehouse. I'll click on the lakehouse. Once I click on the lakehouse, it is automatically taking the connection with my organizational account. I'll click on the next. If I click on the next, it will navigate to another window. So here, if you see, there is option if you want to create a new table or if you want to create an existing table. So my requirement is I want to create a new table. So in this, what is my workspace name? Fabric CSV demo. I'll click Fabric CSV demo. Then in that, this is my lake house. I'll select my CSV file, CSV load underscore LH. And now if you want to rename, here also you can rename your table. So I'll click on the next. Then it is validating the data. And so here, if you see, whatever the sales space order ID, automatically it is converted sales underscore order ID. Order space date, automatically it is converted order underscore date. So if you want, from here also you can change the data types. So now what I'll do, I'll click on the save settings. So now it is save the destination. So here, if you see, initially here nothing is there. Now here lakehouse already, if I on hover, see how it is brilliant. It is showing workspace name is this, and lakehouse name is this, and table name is this, and update method is refresh, and column mapping is also it is showing. Now everything is ready. Now just I want to publish this. So here, if you want to publish later, you can publish, schedule it later also. Now for now, what I'll do, I'll click on the publish. So if I click on the publish, it is started publishing. So see here, if you observe, publishing is started. So it is publishing is in progress. If you here you on over, so it is showing that publish in progress. So let's wait until it publishes to lakehouse. So because of trial version, it is taking some lengthy time. But if you upgrade it to any F2 or F64 capacity, fabric capacity, it won't take this much time. So now this data flow published successfully. Okay, so now after publishing the data flow, it has to refresh. So now see here, refresh is in progress. Now the refresh is started. Let me expand this. Now refresh is started at 3:11:15 p.m. So let it refresh. Once the refresh completed, then we will go to the lakehouse and we will check whether the file is pushed to lakehouse delta tables or not. So we will wait till the refresh completes. So it's refreshing. Let's wait couple of minutes. Once refresh is completed, hope automatically my sales order table will be loaded to CSV Lakehouse as a delta table. So this refresh and all this publishing will take time depending upon your data set size and how many rows are there in the data set. Yes, now if you see, the refresh is completed. So now what I will do, I'll click on the Lakehouse CSV load underscore LH. If I click on the lakehouse, so in the tables, go to this three dots, just click on the refresh. So once if you click on the refresh, see, some time back I tried to load it from here, it is throwing error. Now if I load with data flows, it is loaded automatically. If I click on this sales order table, so it is loading the preview. Let's see the preview. So it is loading. Let's wait. See, if you see sales underscore order ID, order underscore date, customer underscore ID, line underscore item, product underscore ID. So this is how you need to load when the column headers having the spaces. So if you go with files option, load table option, it will throw error. So I would recommend go with the data flows. You can load dynamically. So how, irrespective of how many columns are there in your data set, it will load it automatically and it will assign underscores automatically for the respective spaces. So now I will recap today what we did. So if you see, actually we created a workspace, then later we created a lake house and we uploaded a files, sales and sales orders CSV files. First I created a sales file, then it is automatically created, there is no error. Then I tried to create a sales orders. It is throwing me error because of there is a spaces between the column headers. That's why I created a data flows, and a data flow gen 2. I pulled the data from the lake house, and I promoted rows as a headers. Then I added the destination. Then I published that into the lake house. Once the published and refreshed completed successfully, now it is loaded directly into the table section as a delta table. Dynamically it is loaded with the underscore assigning. So this is about how we can load the CSV files having the column headers with the spaces. So thank you for watching this video. Please like, share and comment this video. Please subscribe to KSR Data Vision YouTube channel. We'll meet you in the next video. Thank you all.